Imagine this: you walk into a room, and without saying a word, she feels something different about you. It's not just your looks, not just your words, but the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you make her feel without even trying. Attraction isn't about being the loudest guy in the room or saying all the right things. It's about creating an energy that pulls her in, keeps her hooked, and makes her crave more of you. Most guys chase women, trying to impress them with words, gifts, or grand gestures. But the men women get addicted to, they understand something deeper. It's not about chasing, it's about being the kind of man she wants to chase. And that starts with the way you talk to her. When you speak to a woman, the way you carry yourself matters just as much as the words you say. Confidence isn't about arrogance or trying to prove something, it's about knowing who you are and owning that with calm certainty. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude confidence, not through forced bravado, but through a relaxed, self-assured presence. One of the most powerful ways to communicate confidence is through your voice. A deep, steady, and relaxed tone instantly signals that you are in control of yourself. When you rush your words, speak too softly, or constantly seek validation, it subconsciously tells her that you're unsure of yourself. Instead, slow down. Take your time when you speak. Let your words carry weight by delivering them with intention. Eye contact is another major factor in the way a woman perceives your confidence. When you lock eyes with her while speaking, you create an unspoken bond that draws her in. But there's a difference between relaxed, natural eye contact and a forced stare that comes off as awkward or aggressive. The key is to look at her with warmth and presence, as if you're genuinely interested in what she's saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. When you're in a conversation, your body language should match your words. Stand or sit with an open posture, avoid fidgeting, and make sure your movements are intentional rather than restless. Small habits like nodding at the right moments, leaning in slightly when she's sharing something important, and holding a relaxed stance can make a huge difference. A woman picks up on these subtle cues, and they either make her feel safe and intrigued or put her off completely. But confidence isn't just about how you act, it's also about what you say and how you listen. Many men make the mistake of trying too hard to impress, thinking they need to constantly be talking or proving their worth. In reality, true confidence comes from being comfortable with silence, knowing that you don't have to fill every moment with words. Pausing before you speak not only makes you sound more thoughtful, but it also adds a sense of mystery, making her more curious about you. At the same time, how you respond to her words is crucial. Women want to feel understood, not just heard. When she talks, don't just listen for the sake of responding, listen to truly understand her emotions. If she shares something personal, acknowledge it in a way that shows you're paying attention. For example, instead of just saying, "That's cool, try something like that, sounds like it meant a lot to you. What made it so special?" Small shifts in the way you engage with her can make all the difference in how she feels around you. Another key aspect of speaking with confidence is adding playful teasing and humor. A man who can make a woman laugh in a natural way instantly stands out. This doesn't mean forcing jokes or trying too hard to be funny, but rather having a lighthearted, playful energy. When you can tease her in a way that makes her smile, you create tension and excitement, which keeps her drawn to you. For example, if she says she loves a certain show, instead of just agreeing, you could playfully challenge her with, "Oh, you're one of those people. I might have to rethink this whole conversation." The key is to keep it fun and engaging, not mean-spirited. However, confidence also means being comfortable with emotional depth. While humor and teasing keep the energy light, opening up about your passions, experiences, and perspectives adds depth to the conversation. A woman doesn't get addicted to a man because he's just fun to be around. She becomes drawn to him because he makes her feel something deeper. When you speak about your goals, your struggles, or what truly excites you, it gives her a glimpse into who you really are. And in return, it encourages her to open up as well, creating a stronger emotional connection. Mystery plays a big role in attraction. One of the biggest mistakes men make is oversharing or constantly trying to prove themselves. You don't have to lay out your entire life story in the first conversation. Instead, reveal things about yourself gradually. If she asks about your passions, give her just enough to spark curiosity. Like, "I have a few things I'm working on that I'm really passionate about, but you'll have to get to know me a little more before I spill all my secrets." This kind of approach keeps her intrigued, wanting to uncover more about you. Lastly, making a woman feel special isn't about generic compliments or trying too hard to please her. Instead of just telling her she looks good, notice the things that make her unique. Compliment her in a way that shows you actually see her, like, "I love the way you get so passionate when you talk about something you care about." These kinds of words make her feel appreciated beyond just her appearance, which is what truly makes a woman drawn to a man. When you combine confidence, presence, playfulness, emotional depth, and a little mystery, you create an energy that naturally pulls her in. It's not about using tricks or trying to be someone you're not. It's about embodying the kind of presence that makes her excited to be around you. Speak to her in a way that makes her feel heard, understood, and intrigued, and she won't be able to help but crave more of your presence. When you talk to a woman, making her feel understood is one of the most powerful ways to create a deep emotional connection. It's not just about listening to her words, it's about truly hearing what she's saying, recognizing the emotions behind them, and responding in a way that makes her feel valued. When a woman feels understood, she naturally becomes more drawn to you because she feels safe opening up, and that emotional safety is what builds attraction on a deeper level. Most men think that listening means waiting for their turn to speak or simply nodding along. But a woman can sense when you're only half engaged, just like she can tell when you're genuinely interested in what she's sharing. Real listening means being present in the moment, absorbing not just her words but also the way she expresses them. The tone of her voice, the excitement in her eyes, or even the hesitation in her words all reveal how she truly feels. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to show her that you understand is by reflecting back what she says. This doesn't mean just repeating her words, but rather acknowledging the emotion behind them. If she's excited about something, match that energy by saying, "That sounds amazing. You must have been so happy when that happened." If she's frustrated about something, instead of offering immediate solutions, recognize her feelings by saying, "That must have been really tough. How did you handle it?" These small shifts in how you respond make a woman feel truly seen and appreciated. A mistake many men make is thinking they need to impress a woman by talking about themselves constantly. But true connection isn't built through self-promotion, it's built through curiosity. When you ask her meaningful questions and genuinely care about the answers, she starts to associate being around you with feeling special. And when a woman feels special in your presence, she naturally wants to be around you more. But not all questions create the same level of connection. Generic questions like, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" might keep the conversation going, but they don't make her feel deeply understood. Instead, go deeper. Ask her what's something you're really passionate about, or what's a moment in your life that completely changed your perspective. These types of questions open the door for real emotional connection because they make her think, and reflect. And when she shares something personal, don't just move on, lean into it. Ask her what she loved about that experience, how it shaped her, or what it means to her now. Women are naturally emotional beings, and they want a man who isn't afraid to engage with those emotions. Many guys make the mistake of shutting down or brushing off a woman's emotions when she expresses them, especially if they don't fully understand them. But if she's sharing something deep, it's because she trusts you. The worst thing you can do is dismiss her feelings with responses like, "It's not a big deal," or "You're overthinking it." Instead, validate her emotions. Even if you don't fully understand why something upsets her, acknowledge that it's real for her. Saying something like, "I see why that would be frustrating," or "That makes sense. I'd probably feel the same way," shows her that you respect her emotions, which makes her feel safe, opening up even more. Another key part of making a woman feel understood is reading between the lines. Women don't always say exactly what they mean directly. Sometimes they communicate through subtle hints, tone shifts, or body language. A confident man pays attention to these cues. If she suddenly gets quieter or her energy shifts, instead of ignoring it, gently check in. You don't need to interrogate her, but saying something like, "You seem a little off, everything okay?" shows her that you're paying attention. And when a woman realizes you're tuned into her in that way, it creates an emotional connection that's hard to resist. Playful teasing can also be a way of making her feel understood. If you notice something unique about her, maybe she has a specific way of telling stories or a quirky habit, call it out in a lighthearted way. Saying something like, "You always get this little sparkle in your eyes when you talk about something you love. It's like your secret superpower," makes her feel noticed in a way that's fun and flirty. Women love when a man picks up on the little details about them because it makes them feel truly seen. Mystery also plays a role here. When you make a woman feel understood, it doesn't mean you have to reveal everything about yourself all at once. In fact, letting her feel like she's gradually getting to know you over time keeps her engaged. If she asks about your passions, instead of giving her a straight answer, say something like, I have a few things I'm obsessed with, but I'll tell you about them when the time is right. This keeps the conversation interesting and gives her something to look forward to. Lastly, making her feel special isn't just about what you say, it's about how you make her feel in your presence. Women remember how a man makes them feel more than the specific words he says. When she walks away from a conversation with you feeling understood, appreciated, and emotionally connected, she'll naturally crave more of that experience. She'll find herself thinking about you, wanting to talk to you again, and feeling drawn to the energy you bring. The key is to be fully present, genuinely curious, and emotionally attuned. When you can do that, you don't just become another guy in her life, you become someone she feels a deep and irresistible connection with. One of the most powerful ways to create attraction is through playful teasing and flirty banter. Women are drawn to men who can make them laugh, keep them on their toes, and create a sense of excitement in conversation. A conversation that feels too predictable, too serious, or too agreeable can quickly become dull. But when you introduce light teasing, a bit of challenge, and a playful dynamic, you create an energy that makes her feel alive, and that's what keeps her coming back for more. Many guys make the mistake of thinking that in order to impress a woman, they need to be overly nice, agree with everything she says, and avoid any kind of playful conflict. But this actually has the opposite effect. Women don't want a guy who is just agreeable. They want someone who has his own personality, his own opinions, and isn't afraid to challenge them in a fun way. This doesn't mean being rude or disrespectful. It means knowing how to create tension in a way that's exciting rather than confrontational. A simple way to do this is through playful teasing. If she tells you she loves a certain TV show, instead of just saying, "Oh, that's cool," you can playfully challenge her with something like, "Wait, you actually watch that? I don't know if we can be friends anymore." The key is to say it with a smirk, a relaxed tone, and a light-hearted energy. She knows you're not being serious, but the little challenge creates a spark of excitement in the conversation. It makes her want to defend her choice, which keeps the interaction engaging and fun. Another way to introduce playful teasing is by exaggerating or twisting her words in a humorous way. If she says she loves coffee, you might say, "So what you're telling me is you can't function without it." That explains a lot. Again, it's not about putting her down, it's about creating a fun and flirty dynamic that makes the conversation more interesting than the usual small talk. But teasing alone isn't enough. It needs to be balanced with moments of genuine connection and appreciation. If all you do is tease, it can come off as immature or as if you're trying too hard. The best interactions are those where you mix playfulness with depth, where she can feel the excitement of being teased, but also the warmth of being genuinely seen and appreciated. If you tease her about how she always overanalyzes things, you can later say, "But honestly, I like that about you." It means you actually think deeply about things. That balance is what creates the strongest attraction. Flirty banter also involves creating a sense of mystery. Instead of giving straightforward answers, leave room for intrigue. If she asks what you do for work, instead of just saying, "I'm in marketing," you can say, "I convince people to buy things they don't need, and somehow they thank me for it." It's playful, it makes her curious, and it keeps the conversation from feeling like an interview. Confidence plays a huge role in making teasing and banter effective. If you're unsure of yourself or hesitant, the teasing can come off as awkward rather than attractive. The key is to deliver your playful remarks with a relaxed, confident energy, like you're inviting her into a fun little game rather than trying to prove something. Women are naturally drawn to emotions, and teasing creates a roller coaster of emotions that makes the interaction more dynamic. It keeps her engaged, keeps her laughing, and makes her associate you with positive emotions. And when a woman feels a mix of excitement, challenge, and warmth when talking to you, she won't be able to get enough. Most conversations people have are surface level, casual, predictable, and forgettable. But if you want to create a deep, lasting attraction with a woman, you have to go beyond small talk. You have to tap into something deeper, something that makes her feel something real. Women don't get addicted to men who just keep conversations going. They get addicted to men who make them feel connected on an emotional level. And the way you do that is by bringing emotional depth into your conversations. A lot of men shy away from deep conversations because they don't know where to start, or they were about coming off as too serious. But emotional depth isn't about being overly dramatic, it's about showing that you have substance, that you're more than just another guy making small talk. It's about being able to share parts of yourself that most people keep hidden, and in doing so, encouraging her to do the same. One of the easiest ways to bring depth into a conversation is to move beyond simple facts and into experiences, emotions, and perspectives. If she tells you she's passionate about art, don't just say that's cool. How long have you been into it? Instead, ask, what is it about art that makes you feel alive? Or what's the most meaningful piece you've ever created? These kinds of questions invite her to open up about things that actually matter to her. And when she does, she'll start to associate those emotions with you. The same goes for when you talk about yourself. Instead of just listing facts about your life, tell stories. Share experiences that shaped you, moments that made you see the world differently, or lessons you've learned the hard way. If you talk about a time you failed at something but learned from it, she'll see that you're self-aware and growth-oriented. If you share a passion of yours and why it excites you, she'll feel that energy and enthusiasm. The goal is to make her feel something when she listens to you, not just process information, but actually connect with it on an emotional level. But emotional depth isn't just about what you say, it's also about how you listen. Women don't just want to be heard, they want to be felt. When she shares something meaningful, don't just respond with a generic, "That's interesting." Engage with her emotions. If she talks about something that made her happy, reflect that back to her. "I can see how much that meant to you." Your whole face lights up when you talk about it. If she shares a struggle, don't rush to fix it or change the subject, hold space for it. Say something like, "That sounds really tough. How did you get through it?" These kinds of responses show her that you're actually present with her, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Another powerful way to create emotional depth is by embracing vulnerability. A lot of men think that showing vulnerability is a weakness, but the truth is, it's one of the most attractive things you can do when done with confidence. Vulnerability doesn't mean dumping all your problems onto someone, it means being real. It means owning your struggles, your fears, your mistakes, and showing that you're comfortable with them. When a woman sees that you're willing to be open about who you really are, it makes her feel safe to do the same. And that level of emotional connection is what creates real attraction. Mystery also plays a role here. While depth is important, you don't have to reveal everything about yourself all at once. Sometimes, leaving little hints or unfinished stories creates intrigue and makes her want to learn more about you over time. If you mention a life-changing experience, instead of laying it all out right away, you can say, "There's a crazy story behind that, but I'll tell you another time." That kind of subtle mystery keeps her engaged and wanting more. Ultimately, the goal is to make every conversation with you feel different from the conversations she has with other people. When she walks away feeling like she connected with you on a real level, when she feels seen, understood, and emotionally engaged, that's when she starts craving more of your presence. And that's what makes her addicted to you. Most men think that attraction is all about what they say, but the truth is, it's often about what they don't say. The way you use silence, the way you hold back just enough to keep her intrigued, and the way you create a sense of mystery all play a massive role in how drawn she feels to you. Women aren't just attracted to what's obvious, they're fascinated by what they can't fully figure out. When you master the art of silence and mystery, you make her lean in, craving more of your energy and presence. One of the biggest mistakes men make in conversations is feeling the need to fill every moment with words. They think that if there's silence, something is wrong, so they rush to fill the gap. But confident men understand that silence isn't awkward, it's powerful. When you pause before you speak, when you allow moments of quiet between sentences, it creates tension. It makes her hang on to your words and anticipate what's coming next. A man who is comfortable with silence radiates confidence because he's not seeking validation through constant chatter. Instead, he controls the rhythm of the conversation, making her feel like she's in the presence of someone who doesn't need to impress someone who already is impressive. Silence is especially powerful in moments of eye contact. When you look at her and hold that gaze without immediately saying something, it creates an electric charge. She starts wondering what you're thinking, what's behind that look, and why you're so calm and collected. This unspoken tension is what makes interactions feel intense and exciting. A well-placed pause can do more for attraction than 1,000 words ever could. But silence alone isn't enough, it has to be paired with a sense of mystery. Women are naturally drawn to men who aren't completely predictable, who have layers to them that take time to unfold. If you give away everything about yourself too quickly, there's nothing left for her to discover. Attraction thrives in the unknown, in the little gaps of curiosity that make her want to learn more about you. One way to create mystery is by not always answering questions in a straightforward way. If she asks, "What do you do for fun?" Instead of listing hobbies, you might say, "I have a few things that keep me busy, but you'll have to stick around to find out." This kind of response makes her curious. It gives her just enough to spark her interest, but not so much that she feels like she already knows everything about you. The same applies to storytelling. Instead of laying out every detail of a story right away, build suspense. If you're talking about a crazy experience, don't rush to the point, set the scene. Let her wonder what's coming next and reveal things bit by bit. The more she has to lean in and piece things together, the more engaged she becomes. Another key aspect of mystery is unpredictability. If she always knows exactly what you're going to say or do, the excitement fades. But when you switch things up, sometimes being playful, sometimes being deep, sometimes holding back, it keeps her emotionally invested. One day you tease her in a fun way, another day you open up about something meaningful. This contrast makes you intriguing because she never fully knows what's coming next, and that unpredictability keeps her thinking about you, even when you're not around. Even the way you respond to compliments or attention can create an air of mystery. Instead of eagerly accepting praise, play it cool. If she says, "You're really charming," instead of just saying thanks, you can smirk and say, "I get that a lot, but I'm still deciding if I believe it." It's playful, it adds a little challenge, and it keeps her engaged. A man who understands the power of silence and mystery doesn't try too hard to be liked, he lets her come to him. He knows that attraction isn't about oversharing or proving himself, but about creating an experience that makes her want more. When a woman feels like she's still figuring you out, when she senses there's more to you beneath the surface, she becomes intrigued. And when she's intrigued, she keeps coming back, wanting to peel back those layers one by one. Attraction isn't about giving her everything at once, it's about making her want to know more. And when you master that balance, she won't be able to get you out of her mind. Confidence is one of the most magnetic traits a man can have. It's not about arrogance, showing off, or trying to prove something. It's about the way you carry yourself, the energy you bring into a room, and the certainty you have in your own value. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude confidence because confidence signals strength, security, and leadership. When you speak with certainty, move with purpose, and own who you are, she can't help but feel an irresistible pull toward you. Many guys think that confidence is about being loud or dominating a conversation, but real confidence is quiet. It's in the way you hold eye contact without looking away. It's in the way you speak with a relaxed tone instead of rushing to fill the silence. It's in the way you stay comfortable in your own skin, no matter who you're talking to. Women pick up on these little details, and when they sense that you're unshaken by external things, whether it's an awkward moment, a challenging question, or even a test from her, it instantly makes you more attractive. One of the clearest signs of confidence is how you handle rejection or setbacks. A man who is insecure takes rejection personally. He gets defensive, he overthinks, or he starts questioning his worth. But a confident man understands that rejection isn't about him, it's just part of life. If a woman isn't interested, he doesn't take it as a personal failure. He shrugs it off and moves forward, knowing that his value isn't dependent on one person's opinion. And that kind of mindset is incredibly attractive because it shows that he's in control of his emotions rather than being controlled by them. Confidence also shows in how you communicate. A lot of men try to impress women by talking too much, over-explaining themselves, or seeking validation through their words. But a truly confident man doesn't need to do any of that. He speaks clearly, gets to the point, and doesn't feel the need to justify himself. He's comfortable with pauses, comfortable with directness, and comfortable with owning his opinions. If a woman challenges him, he doesn't backtrack or try to agree just to please her. He stands his ground while still being respectful. And that balance between being assertive yet emotionally intelligent is incredibly appealing. Another powerful aspect of confidence is decisiveness. Women love a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. This doesn't mean being controlling or aggressive, it means having a clear sense of direction in your life. If you're making plans, don't be hesitant with statements like, I don't know, what do you want to do? Instead, take the lead. Let's check out this great spot. I know you'll love it. This kind of confidence in decision-making shows leadership, and leadership is deeply attractive to women because it signals competence and strength. But confidence isn't just about how you talk or move, it's about how you treat yourself. A man who takes care of his body, his mind, and his personal growth radiates confidence because he respects himself. He doesn't need to seek approval from others because he already values himself. He walks into a room knowing he belongs there, not because he's the loudest person, but because he's done the work to become someone he's proud of. One of the biggest challenges men face is self-doubt. And the truth is, every man deals with it at some point. But the difference between a confident man and an insecure one isn't the absence of doubt, it's how they handle it. A confident man acknowledges his doubts but doesn't let them define him. He doesn't overthink every interaction or worry about whether people like him. He trusts himself, knowing that he brings value wherever he goes, and that's what makes confidence so addictive. When a woman is around a man who is truly comfortable in his own skin, it makes her feel secure, excited, and drawn to him in a way she can't even fully explain. It's not just what he says or does, it's the feeling he creates. And when a woman feels that kind of energy from a man, she won't want to let it go.